Discovery in the deep. Dr. Maya Patil huddled over her monitor in the cramped research vessel, squinting at the sonar readings that shouldn't exist. 3 weeks into her expedition at the Mariana Trench, and the anomalies kept growing stronger rather than resolving into something that made scientific sense. Dr. Patil, her assistant, Raj, approached with fresh coffee. "You've been staring at those readings for 12 hours. Please tell me you're seeing something I'm not." Maya accepted the mug gratefully, but didn't take her eyes off the screen. "These energy signatures are impossible, Raj. They're too regular, too engineered." She zoomed in on a particular section. "Look at this pattern. It's repeating on a precise cycle. Nature doesn't work like that." "Equipment malfunction," Raj suggested, though they both knew the sensors had been checked repeatedly. "Across all arrays. For 3 weeks straight." Maya shook her head. "No, something's down there. Something that shouldn't be." Within days, Maya's discovery became the focus of international attention when similar anomalies were reported from research stations monitoring other oceanic trenches around the world. The Puerto Rico Trench, the Java Trench, the South Sandwich Trench. Everywhere humans had placed sensors in the deepest parts of the world's oceans, the same inexplicable energy signatures appeared. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session. What had started as a scientific curiosity was rapidly becoming a global security concern. Admiral Helena Chen addressed the assembly, her weathered face grave. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be direct. Whatever's down there, it's not natural, and it's not ours. We're detecting complex energy patterns consistent with advanced technology far beyond our current capabilities. Are you suggesting extraterrestrial origin, Admiral?" the French representative asked, voicing what everyone was thinking. "I'm not suggesting anything yet," Helena replied, though her expression suggested otherwise. "What I am recommending is an immediate joint international expedition. Whatever's down there concerns all of humanity." For once, political differences were set aside. Operation Deep Revelation was launched with unprecedented speed and cooperation. Advanced deep-sea vehicles from the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union converged on the Pacific anomaly, the strongest signal and most accessible site. Dr. Maya Patil found herself aboard the DSRV Poseidon, the most advanced deep-sea research vessel ever constructed. As they descended into the abyssal darkness, tension filled the cramped cabin. "Approaching target depth," announced the pilot. 6,000 meters, 7,000 meters. The external lights of the vessel struggled against the crushing darkness of the deep ocean. Maya pressed her face to one of the small viewing ports, seeing nothing but the occasional marine snow, particles of organic matter drifting down from above. "Energy signature intensifying," reported the sensor operator. "Whatever it is, we're almost on top of it. 10,800 meters. Bottom coming up," called the pilot. Maya held her breath. Then suddenly, the lights of the Poseidon revealed something that shouldn't exist 5 meters below the ocean floor. A massive, sleek structure, clearly artificial, partially embedded in the seafloor. "My God," whispered Raj beside her. "Is that a ship?" Maya finished. "An enormous ship." The structure extended beyond the range of their lights in both directions. Its surface was dark, almost black, with no visible seams or rivets. Despite being buried in oceanic sediment that would have taken thousands of years to accumulate, the hull showed no signs of corrosion or biological growth. "I'm detecting similar material composition from the other global anomalies," said the sensor operator, her voice trembling with excitement or fear. "Perhaps both. They're all the same. They're all ships." Within hours, deep-sea vessels at other locations confirmed the discovery. In every major oceanic trench around the world, massive vessels lay dormant, hidden beneath thousands of meters of water and centuries of silt. Initial estimates suggested hundreds of ships. As more were discovered, that number climbed into the thousands. When advanced scanning technology was deployed globally, the final count left humanity reeling. Over 1 million vessels strategically placed in the deepest parts of Earth's oceans. The question on everyone's lips: why? 3 months after the initial discovery, a breakthrough came from an unlikely source. Dr. Jin Wei, a specialist in quantum computing, identified patterns in the energy emissions that resembled computational processes. They're not just power signatures, he explained to the international research team assembled in Tokyo. They're data transmissions. These ships are talking to each other. Can we intercept these communications? Asked Admiral Chen. Jin nodded cautiously. Theoretically, but there's more. He paused, looking uncomfortable. I believe some of these transmissions are queries. The ships are asking questions, seeking responses. Maya leaned forward. They're sentient. Not exactly. I believe we're dealing with advanced artificial intelligence systems, and they've noticed our probes. They're curious about us. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't just discovering alien technology. They were on the verge of establishing first contact with alien artificial intelligence. Teams of linguists, mathematicians, and computer scientists worked around the clock to establish a communication protocol. Progress was painstakingly slow, then suddenly rapid. The alien eyes, once they recognized human attempts at communication, proved eager to establish dialogue. The first coherent message received, exactly 4 months after the initial discovery, was deceptively simple. Greetings, inheritors. The Guardians await your questions. Captain Leila Santos guided the specialized submersible toward the designated entry point of the largest discovered vessel, located in the Mariana Trench. Her team, a carefully selected group of scientists, engineers, and military personnel, represented the first humans to attempt physical contact with the alien ships. Approaching access port now, Leila announced, her voice steady despite the momentous occasion. Stand by for docking procedure. The enormous vessel had revealed an entry mechanism once communication had been established. As the submersible approached, sections of the seamless hull reconfigured, forming a perfect docking port that matched their vessel's dimensions exactly. That's convenient, muttered Dr. Raj Sharma, now designated as the team's xenotechnology specialist. They've had time to scan our technology, Maya replied. She had fought hard to be included on this first contact team. They're accommodating us. The docking procedure completed with a soft metallic click. For a moment, no one moved. Then, with a hiss, the inner airlock of the alien vessel opened. Atmosphere analysis complete, announced the team's environmental scientist. Oxygen-nitrogen mix. Slightly higher oxygen content than Earth standard. No detected toxins or pathogens. It's breathable. Leila nodded. Remember the protocol. No sudden movements. No weapons deployed unless absolutely necessary. We're guests here. The team entered the alien ship with a mixture of trepidation and wonder. The interior was surprisingly well lit, with surfaces that emitted a soft ambient glow. The architecture was both alien and somehow familiar. Corridors curved in mathematically perfect arcs, and every space seemed designed for maximum efficiency. No chairs, no obvious controls, Raj observed, scanning everything with specialized equipment. Whoever built this didn't have human physiology. They were guided deeper into the vessel by subtle lighting changes in the walls, eventually reaching a vast central chamber. The room was dominated by a pillar of shifting light, blues, greens, and whites swirling in complex patterns. "Hello, inheritors," came a voice from everywhere and nowhere at once. The pillar of light pulsed in sync with the words, "I am Guardian Prime, administrator of the Sentinel Fleet." Maya stepped forward, designated as the team's primary communicator. "We are representatives of humanity, the dominant species of Earth. We seek to understand why your vessels are here on our world." "Your world," the light pulsed, the voice melodic and without emotion. "Yes, Earth has always been your world. The Sentinel Fleet was entrusted to your world by the architects to await the day when the inheritors, you, would emerge as a spacefaring civilization." "The architects?" Maya asked. Who were they? The architects were the first advanced civilization in this galactic sector. They achieved technological singularity approximately 250,000 of your years ago. As they transcended their physical forms, they left behind guardians and gifts for promising young species. Earth was identified as hosting such potential. Layla exchanged glances with Admiral Chen, who had insisted on being part of this first contact. The implications were enormous. These ships, Chen asked, what is their purpose? The light column shifted to deeper blues. The Sentinel fleet serves multiple functions: defense, education, transportation, advancement. The architects believed that promising species should be given tools to survive the dangers of the cosmos, but only when they had proven themselves ready by discovering these tools through their own initiative. And you believe we're ready now? Maya asked. You have found us, Guardian Prime replied simply. The act of discovery is the first test. Your methods of approach and communication represent the second. You have shown caution, cooperation, and curiosity, traits the architects valued. Raj was busy scanning the chamber with his instruments. The technology here, it's incredible. Energy generation systems unlike anything we theorized. Materials that shouldn't be possible. Computational systems that make our most advanced quantum computers look like an abacus. All this was meant for us. For the inheritors of Earth, yes, Guardian Prime confirmed. Though the architects left similar guardians on 12 other worlds in this galactic sector, you are not alone in receiving this inheritance. That revelation sent a shiver through the team. Humanity wasn't just confronting the reality of advanced alien technology. They were learning they weren't unique in being chosen. Have any of these other inheritors claimed their guardians yet? Chen asked carefully. 5 species have successfully activated their guardian fleets within the last 30,000 years. They now form the core of what you would term a galactic civilization. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Are they aware of us? They are aware of Earth as a potential civilization world. They are not yet aware that you have discovered your guardian fleet. When this vessel fully activates, a signal will be transmitted. The others will know. The implications hung in the air. Humanity was about to announce its presence to the galactic community, ready or not. Can we delay that signal? Chen asked cautiously. That is your right as inheritors, Guardian Prime acknowledged. The signal can be postponed until you deem yourselves ready. The architects valued self-determination above all. Relief visibly washed over the Admiral's face. Then we need time. Time to understand what we found. Time to prepare. Time, Guardian Prime pulsed softly, is a luxury the architects wish to provide to all promising species. You may proceed at your own pace. However, I must inform you that statistical models suggest other intergalactic entities may detect your civilization independently within 20 to 50 of your years. Not all such entities share the architect's benevolence. And with that sobering warning, humanity's greatest challenge and opportunity was laid bare. 1 million advanced warships hidden beneath Earth's oceans for millennia, waiting to be claimed. A gift from a long-vanished civilization. A responsibility that would transform human society forever. And perhaps most importantly, a ticking clock before humanity's presence became known to potentially hostile forces among the stars. The question was no longer just why are these ships here, but what will humanity do with them? The race to claim humanity's inheritance had begun. Guardians of Earth. 5 years passed in a blur of frantic activity. The discovery of the Sentinel fleet transformed human civilization at a pace that left even the most optimistic futurists breathless. General Sophia Rice stood at the viewport of Lunar Command, gazing at the massive shipyard that now orbited Earth's moon. Where once there had been empty space, now hundreds of vessels glinted in the harsh sunlight. A fraction of the Sentinel fleet painstakingly relocated from Earth's oceans and retrofitted for human use. Progress report, Dr. Patel, she said without turning around. Dr. Maya Patel consulted her tablet. Integration of human control systems is at 72% across the relocated fleet. We've successfully adapted 287 vessels for full human operation. Another 1,200 are in various stages of retrofitting. And the advancements. Revolutionary, as you know. Maya couldn't keep the excitement from her voice. Medical technology has eliminated most major diseases. Clean energy production has increased global output by 300%. Quantum communication networks have replaced the internet and the manufacturing techniques we've learned. She trailed off, gesturing at the shipyard. We've compressed centuries of development into half a decade. Sophia nodded, her expression remaining neutral despite the pride she felt. Humanity had risen to the challenge magnificently. After the initial panic and the inevitable political squabbling, an unprecedented era of international cooperation had emerged. The United Earth Defense Force had been formed, combining the military and scientific resources of all major nations. The Sentinel fleet was too important, too powerful to become the property of any single country. And what about our visitors? She finally turned from the viewport to face Maya. Maya's expression tightened. Long-range detection systems confirm they entered the solar system 12 hours ago. Current trajectory puts them at Earth orbit in approximately 18 hours. Identification confirmed. The Vortex Dominion. According to Guardian Prime's database, they're not one of the 5 species that found their guardian fleets, Raj added, joining them at the viewport. They're aggressive expansionists. Sophia's jaw clenched. The Vortex Dominion wasn't supposed to happen yet. Guardian Prime had estimated decades before humanity would face extraterrestrial contact. They'd been preparing, but not fast enough. Tell me they don't know about our fleet. Raj shook his head. We don't believe so. We've kept the activation signal suppressed as planned. All indications suggest they consider Earth a routine expansion target, a primitive world ripe for conquest. Then they're in for a surprise. Sophia straightened her uniform. Implement Defense Protocol Aegis. All retrofitted Guardian vessels to combat readiness. Deploy stealth observation units to monitor the Dominion approach. Yes, General. Raj nodded, then hesitated. Should we attempt communication first? Sophia fixed him with a level gaze. Of course, Doctor. We're not barbarians. We'll attempt peaceful contact as per protocol. But the Dominion database entry was quite clear about their standard operating procedure for primitive worlds. She turned back to the viewport, watching as lights began activating across the lunar shipyard. We'll talk, but we'll do it from a position of strength. The Vortex Dominion arrival was as intimidating as it was theatrical. Their capital ships, massive constructions of emerald metal and jutting weapon emplacements, took position around Earth in a perfect containment pattern. Smaller vessels deployed to lower orbits, scanning the planet's surface. From her position on the bridge of the UEDS Defiant, Captain Leila Santos watched the alien fleet with professional detachment. The Defiant, previously designated Sentinel Vessel 3854, was one of humanity's first fully operational adaptations of the ancient technology. From the outside, it still resembled its original sleek obsidian design. Inside, it had been completely reconfigured for human use, and it was currently hidden behind Mars along with 20 other Sentinel vessels, cloaked with technology the Dominion couldn't detect. They're broadcasting, Captain, reported Lieutenant Carlos Rodriguez from the communication station. Standard radio frequencies. They're literally using our own communication methods. Leila nodded. They think we're in the radio age. Put it through. The main screen flickered to life, revealing the first human glimpse of a Dominion commander. The alien resembled a humanoid figure, but with skin that shimmered with iridescent patterns and eyes that seemed to contain swirling nebulae. Its uniform appeared to be a combination of metallic fabric and actual cybernetic implants merged with its body. Inhabitants of Sol 3, the Dominion commander announced, its mouth moving oddly in sync with the English words, I am Fleet Commander Vexnar of the Vortex Dominion. Your world has been selected for incorporation into our glorious empire. Surrender your planetary leadership to our landing forces, and your transition to protectorate status will be peaceful. Resistance will result in significant population reduction. You have 6 planetary rotations to comply. The transmission cut off abruptly. "Charming fellow," Layla remarked dryly. "General Reyes, are you receiving?" Sophia appeared on a secondary screen from Lunar Command. "Perfectly, Captain." Opinions. Standard intimidation tactics. They're expecting panicked government responses, possibly military attempts with our primitive technology. They have no idea what they're walking into. Agreed. Sophia's expression was resolute. Implement Phase 1. Let's show them enough to open real negotiations without revealing our full capabilities. Layla nodded. Understood. Defiant moving to engage. The order went out. Across the solar system, 4 modified Sentinel vessels decloaked simultaneously, 1 near the Moon, 1 in Earth orbit, 1 near Venus, and the Defiant from behind Mars. 4 ships against the Dominion fleet of over 50 vessels. But 4 ships of a technological level the Dominion had never encountered. On the Dominion command ship, Fleet Commander Vexnar received the report of the suddenly appearing vessels with disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed. The intelligence indicated no spacefaring capability beyond their satellite network and primitive orbital station. "The vessels are unlike any known configuration," his second reported nervously. "Energy readings are anomalous. They appear to be using some form of gravitational manipulation drive." Vexinar's skin patterns darkened with anger. "Hail them." Now, Captain Santos's face appeared on the Dominion view screen, humanity represented by a confident woman with calm eyes and an expression of mild interest. "Fleet Commander Vexnar," Layla said before the alien could speak. "I am Captain Layla Santos of the United Earth Defense Force. We received your communication and would like to propose actual diplomatic discussions rather than threats. Earth is not the primitive world your intelligence suggested." Vexnar fought to maintain his composure. This was unprecedented. Pre-spacefaring civilizations did not suddenly produce advanced vessels that could appear from nowhere. "Your technology," he said carefully, "it is not of your making." Layla smiled slightly. "All technology is built upon the discoveries of those who came before. We've had some excellent teachers. But perhaps this conversation would be better continued in person. We're preparing a neutral meeting facility on our moon. Unless, of course, you prefer to reconsider your position and leave our system peacefully." The implied threat was clear. Vexnar's eyes swirled with increasing speed, a sign of agitation among his species. "We will meet," he finally said. 2 planetary rotations. I will bring an escort of 5 warriors." "Excellent," Layla replied. "We look forward to more productive discussions." As the transmission ended, Vexnar turned to his battle strategist. Analysis. The strategist, a cybernetically enhanced Dominion with calculation implants, responded promptly. "The vessels they revealed show technology beyond our current level. However, they only revealed 4 ships. Either they possess very few of these vessels, or they are concealing their true strength." Probability assessment. Given the abrupt appearance of advanced technology, 82% probability they have acquired it recently, possibly from another civilization. 67% probability they have limited numbers of these vessels. Recommend proceeding with caution while gathering more intelligence. Vexinar's skin patterns shifted to a contemplative blue. "Prepare a boarding team for the diplomatic mission. Special equipment. I want detailed scans of whatever facility they bring us to. And ready the subspace transmitter. The Sovereign must be informed of this development." 2 days later, on the lunar surface, Earth's representatives met with the Dominion delegation in a specially constructed facility. The meeting was tense but cordial. Vexnar, impressed despite himself by the lunar base and the humans' apparent technological capabilities, probed carefully for information. General Reyes revealed little, speaking only of Earth's desire for peaceful relations while making it clear they would defend themselves if necessary. The subtext was unmistakable. "Leave us alone, or there will be consequences." As the Dominion delegation departed, Maya turned to Sophia. "Do you think they bought it?" They're confused and cautious. That's enough for now, Sophia replied. But they'll be back, and with reinforcements. The scan jammers worked well. They got nothing useful from their equipment, but they're not fools. They know we're hiding something. How long do we have? Guardian Prime estimates 3 months before a larger Dominion fleet arrives. By then, we need to be ready. 87 days later, the solar system's early warning network detected the second Dominion fleet, 5 times larger than the first, with ships clearly designed for planetary assault rather than intimidation. This time, there was no communication, no demands. The Dominion had made their decision. General Reyes stood in the command center of Lunar Base, surrounded by holographic displays showing the approaching fleet. Representatives from every nation on Earth watched alongside her, united in this moment of crisis. They've made their choice, Sophia said quietly. Now we make ours. She turned to Maya. Dr. Patel, is the fleet ready? Maya nodded, her expression solemn. As ready as we could make it in the time we had. 512 vessels fully operational, another 700 automated with limited functionality. Sophia took a deep breath. Then it's time to show them who they're really dealing with. Implement Operation Revelation. All ships, prepare for combat. Across the solar system, hidden vessels began to power up. From Earth's oceans, massive ships rose through the water for the first time in millennia, breaking the surface in spectacular displays that were broadcast worldwide. From the lunar shipyards and hidden bases on Mars and the asteroid belt, retrofitted vessels moved into formation. In orbit, the Dominion fleet commanders watched in growing horror as their sensors registered hundreds, then thousands of ships activating throughout the system, vessels with energy signatures far beyond their own. The signal that had been suppressed for 5 years was finally sent. Across the galaxy, the other inheritor civilizations received the notification. Earth had claimed its legacy. Captain Santos sat in the command chair of the Defiant, now the flagship of Earth's first defense fleet. All ships reporting ready, General. Awaiting your orders. On the main screen, Sophia Reyes looked at each of the assembled fleet captains, men and women from nations that had been enemies just 5 years ago, now united in defense of their world. This is not a war we sought, she said, her voice transmitted to every vessel in the fleet and to viewing screens around the world. But it is one we are prepared to win. The architects left us these ships as guardians, and today we fulfill that purpose. Our message to the Dominion is simple. Earth is protected. Earth is not for conquest. She paused, then gave the command that would define humanity's entry onto the galactic stage. All ships engage the enemy. Defend Earth. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. The Dominion fleet, despite its size and experience, found itself outmatched by technology they couldn't comprehend. Human crews, though new to space combat, fought with determination and ingenuity, using their ships in ways the original designers might never have imagined. Within hours, the outcome was clear. The remaining Dominion vessels, less than half their original number, retreated from the solar system, jumping to faster-than-light speeds with Earth's warning ringing in their communications, return, and face complete destruction. In the aftermath, as damage was assessed and the injured treated, Maya found herself back aboard the first vessel she had entered 5 years ago, speaking once again with Guardian Prime. "We've done what you expected," she said to the column of light. "We've defended our world. But where do we go from here? The galaxy now knows we exist, knows what we possess. That decision has always been yours to make," Guardian Prime replied. "The architects provided the tools, but the path you choose is your own. Some inheritor species chose isolation, building defensive perimeters and focusing inward. Others chose expansion, claiming new worlds and resources. Still others chose integration, joining the galactic community and sharing their unique perspectives. And what would you recommend? I am not programmed to recommend, only to inform and support," But I can tell you that the architects valued diversity of thought and approach. They believed that younger species often possessed insights that the older had forgotten. That is why they chose to leave these gifts, rather than simply uplifting species directly. Maya thought about the last 5 years, the unprecedented cooperation, the scientific breakthroughs, the sense of shared purpose that had united a formerly divided world. "When I found your signal, I was just a scientist looking for knowledge," she said quietly. "I never imagined what it would lead to." The greatest discoveries often come from the simplest questions, Guardian Prime pulsed. That is another truth the architects valued. As Maya left the ship, returning to the lunar base where Earth's leaders were already discussing their next steps, she looked back at the sleek black vessel that had changed humanity's destiny. 1,000,000 warships, a frightening inheritance that had brought both power and responsibility. But perhaps the real gift hadn't been the ships themselves, but what they had inspired: unity, innovation, and a new understanding of humanity's place in a vast and complex universe. The stars were no longer distant points of light. They were destinations, and humanity was ready to take its first real steps into the galactic community, not as conquerors or as victims, but as equals. Guardian Prime's lights dimmed as the facility powered down for the night. Its programming registered satisfaction at a successful activation sequence. The inheritors of Earth had claimed their legacy and proven themselves worthy of the architect's faith. The next phase could now begin.